Okay, Torah concept, New Testament, use not vain repetitions like the heathen. Okay, so while the Torah doesn't use the phrase vain repetitions, it does emphasize that prayer and worship must be sincere, heartfelt, and directed to the one true God, right? Rather than empty formulas or ritualistic babbling. Okay, so the New Testament warning in Matthew chapter 6, verses 5 through 7 against vain repetitions echoes the Torah principles that reject mechanical or insincere prayer. So, the Torah Parallels, first example, sincerity in worship. We note the Shema in Deuteronomy chapter 6. This command frames prayer and worship as an act of wholehearted devotion, not empty words. Okay. Next example, God knows the heart. We read in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2, God tested Israel to know what was in your heart. And the Torah stresses that God looks at the inner sincerity, not outward petition. Okay, and the next example, warning against pagan practices. Okay, and we read this in Deuteronomy 12, verses 30 to 31. And Israel's warned not to imitate the nation's worship practices. Okay, pagan rituals often involve repetition or repetitive chants or magical incantations, similar to what Yeshua calls vain repetitions. Prayer, next example, prayer as genuine petition. In Numbers 21, verse 7, the people confess their sin and ask Moshe to pray for them. Moshe prays and God responds. This shows prayer as a direct, meaningful communication with not a formulaic repetition. We note that the continuity here, Yeshua's teaching is not a rejection of prayer or liturgy, which often repeats prayers like the Shema, but a rejection of a pagan-style babbling. Okay, and the Torah already warned Israel against adopting such practices. The Torah parallels Matthew 6, verses 5 through 7 by commanding sincere devotion, warning against pagan ritual, showing examples of meaningful intercession. Yeshua's teaching here builds directly on these Torah foundations. Again, rejecting empty formulas in the favor of heartfelt prayer, something that comes from the heart. And we note how this is how Yeshua taught Torah in the New Testament, how the New Testament teaches Torah. The Torah has not passed away.